Alright, looks like that worked. Yeah. Okay. So, gonna be starting a 1,000-mile journey here. I think I should be able to do this while I talk about Lords of the Fallen, but we'll see. So I want to go this way because I want to just fight some bosses and stuff. Okay, so I recently played Lords of the Fallen, and you know what? It wasn't that bad. There's I've been like in the subreddit a lot for it, and it seems like there's kind of it seems like the game's kind of getting some hate. Well, it seems pretty mixed, honestly. Like I've seen a lot of like mixed reviews. Some people really like it, and some people really don't like it. And yeah, I think it's like right in the middle. You know, if I had to give like a rating, I think I could be fine giving it a 6. Even like maybe a 6.5. I haven't done the last ending and like fought in the last boss, but I've seen some videos of it and it looks like pretty cool. And that's definitely like one thing with like the bosses in the game are like pretty lacking for like what you'd want in a Souls like for the most part. I mean, there's a few good ones, but like you know, they do the whole like the boss is a guy that you just like fought, or like you fight the boss and then he's like a regular guy like a level later. And you know, like Dark Souls 1 did that with the Capra Demon and the Taurus Demon, and I think to really good effect, like, because I played that game and I thought that was really neat when I got there, and it's like, whoa, this guy's just like a regular enemy now, and I'm like beating the shit out of him. It's like a really cool moment for your character journey, where you really feel like you're seeing kind of like what the whole experience for you has yielded. And especially because those bosses, you know, like Taurus Demon is typically like the first boss that you fight. It's probably going to be like the first place you get stuck on. And then, oh my god, Capra Demon is like a huge relief when you beat him, right? Unless you're like super smart and you figure out what to do like right away, but you know, if you're not, you fought him for a long time before you killed him. So when you get to the very end at like Lost Izalith or whatever, and then you fight them there, it's pretty neat because it's like, oh my god, like this is where these guys came from. And then you hit them with your sword and you delete like 70% of their health, and you're like, wow, look at me. Wow, I'm strong. It feels really cool. But in Lords of the Fallen, the bosses, you fight them, and then you fight like that enemy like a zone later. And then admittedly, I guess there's a lot of them in the end zone, I guess. But like that's where they should be, right? That's where it feels like it. But yeah, so that kind of happened because, you know, the first guy, well, I guess like the very first boss you fight, the very first boss after Pieta that you fight is like an enemy in the 5th beacon place. So I guess it's like quite long till you see them as an enemy, but by that time it's like the same thing too, and that enemy wasn't like very worthwhile. It's like a melee guy with like a whip, and like he shoots out like a little tornado sometimes. It's like pretty easy if you just know to like dodge into them and you know, get past the tornado rather that like traps people to dodge backwards, right? Because it like follows you for a long time. But you just dodge into it and then you like get inside of it and it goes past you or whatever. I don't fuck, I didn't see what this was. Oh shit. Oh, and I got the right element actually. We're missing a lot. What was that? Drop that. Do this. And the water's not very strong, but this should kill him. Oh wow, there's more? Oh yeah, there's like 3. Oh shit. Okay, I need water for her. Oh, I missed. Oh, and I'm tired. Okay, well, it's fine. I help. Oh my god. Hold on. Alright, great. Oh, okay, she's good. We need a new... We just need new everything, I guess. And then, oh, this guy, he's weak to, like, everything. Oh, he's actually not weak to nature. Okay, so what does that mean? He's poison? And then you can actually go poison. Wow, he's poisoned already. Alright. So anyways, yeah, Lords of Fallen does that a lot, so like they really don't have like that many bosses. So anyways, I think I was trying to wrap this into that. Like there is one boss that like you get for doing like the Umbral ending, which I haven't done. And it looks pretty cool, and it looks like memorable, I guess, or noteworthy, I suppose, because like I didn't feel like a lot of the bosses in this game were like memorable, but they were like noteworthy. You know, like Moog is a memorable boss to me, and like Melania, even though Melania is noteworthy, or not noteworthy. Did I say memorable? Melania is memorable because she took like 2 days of my life to kill. And I remember her in a painful way, but Moog I remember in like a really cool way. Same with like Placidusax. Like, damn, that is a cool fucking boss, right? Everything about that boss is amazing. It's like the best dragon fight that they've ever done, and it's astonishing when you get right down to it and think about it. It's so cool. There's so many awesome things about that boss, from like the arena to the fact that he like teleports in the sky and he like fights you like with giant claws as a dragon, and he's got like this mysterious thing with like all his heads, and like some of them are missing. Everything about it. And then he like slams a nuclear bomb into the ground sometimes. Like, it's insane. There's nothing in this game that's like that. Unfortunately, not really. The fights that I liked were Dervla. Sorry, let me actually do some playing here. I like Dervla. I thought the presentation of it was like really cool, and the boss was like neat, and the Wither theme for like where you were and everything was really nicely like woven into it and stuff. Yeah, she was just neat. It actually, it's like, I wish there were more bosses like that, because like it actually felt like the boss like fought you. I guess like a lot of the bosses fight you. That's kind of stupid to say, because like I guess like the Lightbringer or Light Stealer, I guess he doesn't really bring light, right? The Lamp Lighter. I don't remember. The guy that's on the dragon that you he like. Stupidly, the game makes you fight him like a bunch of times for some reason, and I don't know if like, I swear like every time he like landed in some random area and he was fighting me, I was at 0 fucking things, because like I was often at 0 of them and healing with like brio stones and stuff, you know, because like there's no vestiges, which is another thing that we'll like get to. But you know, that's fine. I like kind of liked the fact that you had to like trek a long time, but like even when you got to a point where you're like, okay, there wasn't. It was always just more like flower beds, and like I never had. Okay, we'll get into that in another place. So we're still kind of like talking about the bosses. So like, okay, I like Dervla. She was cool presentation wise, and like the fight felt neat. I think it took me like. Well, the game kept crashing. The more that they patched it, the more that it crashed. So I'm pretty sure I was going to kill her on my first attempt. I also think I might have been like slightly over-leveled. Although I'm never sure with these games. When I finished it, I was like level 110. I I don't know if that's like really high or really low, but some of the later levels, it either like I had an insane build, which like I felt the Umbral build was really fucking good. By the way, you get like this. At one point in the game, you get this necklace that lets you cast spells without mana, and the penalty is like you pay in withered health, and your health withers as you like launch the spell, so that when the spell hits the enemy, you get your health back. It's insane. It's so busted. But I think that there, like, some spells have, or even that catalyst, I think that like one that looks like a finger. Lord Brescu's catalyst or whatever. I think it has like a frost penalty for using it. So like if you start spamming spells, you do like you get frostbite eventually, or at least I did. And like I said, I don't know if that's like maybe that's from one of the certain spells that I was using, or I don't know if it's from the catalyst or not. It's, I guess. I don't need to switch to here. So yeah, was her I think I might have died in her second phase, and then I had to fight her a second time. I don't remember exactly though. And I recorded some parts, but like the game kept crashing, so I would like stop recording, and then I would forget to like initiate recording again when I like booted the game up. So like some of the bosses, I don't know if I even have like recording footage of them and stuff, but. The cleric fight was cool. That one felt kind of hard. I guess that little like paladin guy was cool, but I don't know. I wouldn't say that. Like I don't know. I saw some people like talking about him. I guess I did die on him, but it's like it took me a little while to like realize how strong that little like thunderstorm that he makes follow you is. Once I grasped like actually how much damage it was doing and like how fast it was, and that you could just outrun it. You can't like sit there and try and fight him and dodge around it. You'll just waste all your stamina. But like you can just outrun it. Well, you just wait it out, you know. While, so, anyways, and I think those things are kind of annoying too when you have to like wait out the boss doing something. I don't remember if you have to do that with the cleric. Now that I think about it, I'm like sitting here thinking like, oh, I hope that you don't, being that I just praised her, but I honestly don't remember. Which is dumb because I also said that she was memorable, but I just remember like I remember her presentation being cool, and I liked both of her phases. But I think I beat her like first years, probably like I'm pretty sure the game crashed while I was fighting her, so it had a real tendency to crash like during boss fights. Which is strange because it's like the more they patched it, like the worse like the performance got for me. It was strange because like the first day and onward, I think I had one crash, and it was like on the second day of playing. But other than that, I was getting like I don't know, I was getting around 100 FPS. I think. I don't think I ever saw it go lower than like 80. I wasn't like watching like a hawk or anything though. And then I felt like it was going, you know, I felt like it was above 100 most of the time, and I don't think it like went under 86. You know, believe that or don't, but that's what I remember. And my, you know, even my like a little like AMD thing, it says that it got like pretty good performance and stuff like that, and it has like an average like frame rate and stuff. So I could look at that, I guess. But the last time I looked at it, it was in the 80s, which is, you know, it was like 89 or something like that. So, my point is that like I thought the performance was fine the first 2 days. I got like one random crash, and it didn't really seem to like do anything after that. But then like the more they patched the game, the more crashy it got. I was getting a lot of crashes. Pretty much whenever I was like fighting a boss, it seemed like whenever there were like a lot of particles and I was like spinning the camera, and the boss was also doing something, and just how the environment would interact and stuff, and they're usually like cinematic environments kind of with a lot of like fog effects and stuff like that, that would cause the game to crash. So that was unfortunate. So that really made me like eager to beat it, because yeah, I also crashed during like when I was fighting Adir, you know. I was just like, god damn it. And like I waited like a day before I like picked it up to do it again, because I was like pretty furious at the game at that point. But you know, like I said, I think overall I would give it like, I don't think it deserves anything lower than like a 6, honestly. It has some like really great things about it. Like I think the world is like done decently well. It doesn't, I don't, you know, like my memory is like way worse than it was when I played Dark Souls 1. So I feel like I don't remember it very well, this like Skyrest bridge place and like all the different various locations and stuff. Oh god, gee, that was a mediocre element? No, it was alright. No one with that. I hate how much this guy runs. He's so annoying. He's taking a lot of damage, alright, he's dead. So that was my issue with performance. So and in terms of like affecting like how many times it took me to like beat the bosses. I like the ruined monarch or whatever, the king guy that you fight at the end. I thought that was a cool fight. That was like my favorite fight, I think, after probably Durvla. Or you know, like I liked it more than Durvla. Durvla would probably come after that. Same thing here. Let's see. Hold on, I gotta turn this thing off. Yeah, I like the king guy. I was like really good at I felt like I was really good at the combat by then, and so he just had like a nice kind of flowy move set. It felt like I was like dual wielding swords, and it just like clicked where I was like, oh my god, I can dodge, and then like I can weave an attack in, and then I can dodge the next one, and you know, I was just like pumping this guy with damage. It was great, and yeah, he just had like a nice flowy move set. Oh god, oh nice. Oh, I have the wrong. I have the wrong element there, but we course corrected. Who's my opponent? Oh shit. This guy, oh my god, this guy is so annoying. I'm gonna switch to these bandoleros. Oh my god, look at that damage, man. Oh my god. I hate when they do that. Alright, almost got him here. Oh, we're thirsty for it. Okay. Yo. I'm gonna do one of these. And one of these again. Alright, going in. Oh, damage first. Oh, just get the damage in. Oh, man. Oh, here he comes doing something dumb. Oh. Okay, I'm too... Oh, my God. Just look at the damage. The damage is great. Oh. Oh, I think we lost our weapon there. Oh, wow, this is... what is this? I'm almost dead. I shouldn't have healed there. I should have just gone in for it. There we go. It's dead. He's level 9 morale, so, you know, we're just gonna zerg him. I don't really know that fight very well still. I maybe should have taken the time to learn it there, but he was still, like, kicking my ass, so it's like he did a lot of damage to me, so I was scared. Okay, so there was, I remember I listed them in a Reddit post, or a comment that I made, but it was Durvla, the King, the Cleric, I liked Pieta. She was like a good intro boss. Um, and then the boss quality kind of like dropped off from her. It was kind of the unfortunate thing. And then I guess I kind of liked the cleric guy at the bottom of the Tower of Penance. The paladin, and then his second phase, he's kind of like a wild beast guy, like has fire. That was kind of cool. I liked. This is the thing is like I think this game's like art direction and like their atmosphere and all that. I thought that was like very strong, and it was very it's like if they were trying to like emulate Dark Souls, like I thought they did like a pretty good job. The game feels very much like a Dark Souls like 4 or like 3.5 or something like that. Just from like kind of like an aesthetic point, and like the combat feels very much the same, even though it's not as good, but it's the same idea. You're just like dodging and it's got a more active parry, I guess, which the other ones they don't, right? They have that like weird parry that like immediately like staggers the enemy. It's not like there was a video on like the subreddit of a guy like parrying the entire like empowered attack from the Skeleton Knight, where he like hits you like 5 times, and the guy like did 5 parries in a row. You can't do that in Dark Souls, right? If you parry once, like they get knocked over. It's a little weird. So the cleric guy was okay. Again, I don't know. There's not a lot of great things in the game, boss-wise. Like I said, I mean that angel for the Umbral ending looks really memorable, but like I don't really want to like play the game again to like get it. I mean, I could see if I was like hooked by the game, it would be like a great extra reward. I'm actually starting to really like New Game Plus, and the idea that it like offers you a more like kind of robust experience the second time around, rather than like everything just being like, I think FromSoft doesn't really well, like at least in an Armored Core, right, they did a good job with the New Game Plus. It's like every single time you could well, like the second time around, well, like you hear about the 3 endings things. Maybe it's like a benefit of like just being kind of like plugged into the communities. But everyone's talking about the 3 endings. So, and the game's like fun as fuck, right? And like it's all about like how you build, and like you get new weapons at the end and stuff like that. So you're really like incentivized to like, okay, I'll go do that. That was all fun. And like the way that it's like staggered in like levels, it kind of takes the pressure off of you in a way that like logging into like a guy that's standing like exactly where you left him in like a giant world like kind of poses you with, you're just like, oh fuck, back to this. Like I gotta get my bearings and like figure out what I was doing, and like that's always like a vague goal in a Dark Souls game. Where in Armored Core, you can just like log in. Anyways, I'm not reviewing Armored Core, which I love, by the way. Man, I haven't like uploaded the rest of my playthrough, but I think I give my review at the end of it. But I really love that game, and I think I gave it like an 8, maybe an 8.5, but I don't know. That's really high, but I think I might have given it an 8 because I got really frustrated with it in some points, but like I think it's still really good. Once I got over all those, it's kind of like half my fault, half From's fault. You know how they are. They're so fucking weird with how they like introduce you to things. Man, So, the combat is, we'll go over like a couple things, I guess. So like the combat is definitely like, it's floaty. It has that, like, it's very fast. It doesn't seem like they did a good job, like, your character never feels like planted to the ground. like even this, like in WoLong, like, you know, my character is like moving their feet, but that's like built into the attack, right? Like, the model like glides a lot in Lords of the Fallen, and like it's not bad. It takes some getting used to though, for sure. Like, it, you know, it took me, like, I really struggled on the big trash monster guy that you fall into the bridge. God, Lord of Poop, Lord of Conflagration, or no, that wouldn't make sense, right? Lord of something. You should all know what I mean. He's the boss that you like fall into, like right when you start a new area. You're like, oh cool, I'm gonna walk across this bridge. This asshole's shooting with a crossbow, and then you fall into the boss, and you're like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot. Oh, this guy, he gets poisoned real fast. Oh no, this is... Oh god. Alright, this guy's so annoying. Okay, that's fine though. We can go, oh man, oh, we tried, wow. Okay. Oh, he's almost dead. We're just gonna punch him to death. So, yeah, I did really bad on Lord of, whatever. Is it it's not, like, he's like a priest, but it's not that, right? It's not like congregations. Is it Lord of Congregation? I don't think it's that. I don't remember what it is. It's something to do with, like, eating or something, I thought. But, you know, whatever. The big, like, yucky guy at the bottom. You know, you like shine your lamp on him, and he's got like a little tumor, and you destroy it because otherwise he like poisons you, and then you like fight him. So I struggled on that fight a lot because like I didn't have like the flow of the combat down really. Like I was still kind of like not sure how to like evade stuff properly. Like I was never sure if like the little like B, because I hate when games are like, oh, you can press B to dash and then you can double tap it to roll, and it's like, well, what does that do? Like, what's the difference? And they don't like explain it. They just like, they're like, well, we gave you the information, so like, you know, go do with it what you will. And it's like, well, you know, like, and then yeah, I you know, Asmongold actually made this like really good video the other day, and it was like it was, well, like it wasn't, the video wasn't originally about this, but I think he was watching someone like review Lords of the Fallen or like review Lies of P. I don't remember, and but it had something to do with like one of those games. And then at the end of the video he started talking about like that none of these Souls-like games that get made seem to like understand exactly what it is people like about Souls-likes. And I think that that's like a really good point, and I think that this video, I think that this game, it kind of has that, where it's like, it's doing a lot of cool things, kind of, not a lot of cool things, it does a couple cool things, but it keeps a lot of like the old, like, drecky, stupid shit around, and then it also like innovates like backwards in some ways, but like forwards in others with the vestige system, which is like weird, and I'll still get to that when I get to it. You know, when I was fighting the Lord of whatever, he's like a big boss, right? So like a lot of times you're like standing like right between like his legs, and like the way that the character is modeled, like when you swing your sword, you don't really like hit his character model, right? You like hit between his legs. And sometimes games are coded to let you have that be a hit, and sometimes they're not. And I just feel like they should always be a hit, because that's like something that happens in like Elden Ring also, where you like fight the if you fight like Valiant, hold on, Yuji, oh god, Yuji Sunjian. Is Sunjian the tiger? you like go to swing at the gargoyles and your sword goes like through his like wiry little legs or whatever, and you like don't get a hit, and it feels really bad because you know took that risk putting yourself out there to get the damage, and you just get like this anti like you know, it's like, dude, don't give the fucking bird like anatomical like advantage when like you don't give me the ability to like I'm not choosing the direction the sword is swung in, right? I am to a degree whether I'm using like a heavy or a light attack and maybe it goes vertical or horizontal or whatever. But like I can't like make it sure that like this swing always like goes into his fucking leg or whatever rather than like between them. So I just think that's like a really dumb like design that like just like unwanted hitboxes basically. It's like that's not fun. It's not like immersion-y to me to like be standing on this like I'm literally like on top of this like character model, this fucking boss model. I'm like standing like as far as my my character will go into it. Oh shit. I'm like standing as far like as my character will go into it as like the game will allow me, you know? Like that's how like on top of him I am. And so oh my god, I just hate these oh my god, my element ran out. I hate these fights where they're like flying around and I just never get to hit them. It's so annoying. Oh my god. There we go. At least he's got some shit on him now. Oh my god, I didn't poison him there. There we go. He's almost dead. Oh my god. God, I have no range. Okay, there we go, jeez. Okay, we better rebuff. Okay, we're gonna kill Sun Jian like real fast, that's the plan. Oh, see, like this. Like, I don't like that. It's dumb. It's like, don't, like, that's so stupid. Like, just, I'm on top of him. Like, obviously my intent is to strike the character model. Like, oh shit, I'm fudging on which, I need to be on this. It's like clearly my intent is to strike my opponent, right? Like I don't like this idea that it's my fault that, you know, wow, did he dispel that on me? What a piece of shit. Oh my god, dude, I hate this guy also. Oh my god, he's just a goddamn asshole. Oh, but luckily I got poison on him and I got fire on him, so he's dying pretty fast. We're gonna do this, and we're just gonna go in, and we're gonna hope we get it. We did. And we got a level, which is great. Yeah, I just think it's dumb that, like, the game is gonna, like, for the most part, like, keep you in play. You know, like, you could strafe around the boss, but the boss always, like, follows you. So, like, the idea that you're gonna, like, get on their leg or whatever is just dumb. Like, just let me hit them. Like, just don't, you know, it's like, it's not my fault, right? It's a dumb way that it's like, I understand that it's like supposed to be like realistic, but it's not fucking real. It's a fucking video game. So in the parts where the video game like deviates from being a game when I expect it to be, that breaks my immersion. Rather than the opposite of what you think you're doing, which is increasing my immersion by making me swing between his legs. I think that's stupid. So that's my rant on that. And Lords of the Fallen has that, as does Elden Ring, as does all the fucking Dark Souls games probably, or something, I don't remember. But they should stop doing that. That's like, oh, it's such an easy fix, and it's like not really a big deal, and like no one would complain if you got rid of that. So please do. So Lords of the Fallen has that. But other than that, I think the combat was fine. I thought the ranged weapon was like really, really great. I thought the lamp was really, really bad. So let me talk about what I didn't like about the lamp. So the lamp, first of all, they teach you that you can like move. The tutorials are like weird. And then I think at one point I was talking about like vague how these games are like vague on purpose, or like they don't give you enough tutorial. Like FromSoft's tutorials with that. Like they could do so much more in the beginning of Armored Core to help you figure it out, but they don't, and it's so fucking annoying. Like, you know, and then that's like one of the things that like. One of the things I was actually surprised about in that game was like, after I died, after I died on the tutorial boss like a bunch of times, you know, like, well, I think like twice, like a tutorial comes up, like a visual tutorial, which was like, whoa, this is really cool. They should just do more of that, please. Just like show me how to play the game, and then I can play it well. Where they showed the, like, I watched the little tutorial and he like actually went up to him and like meleeed him with a sword, and I was like, holy shit, I didn't even think you could do that. I thought this game was all about like being a guy with guns and like staying at range. But you know, Lords of the Fallen is kind of like that with like some of its oh man, I did that in the wrong order. Well, now I gotta, god damn it. Alright, here we go. We got a buff. I'm gonna choose that thing. It's a formidable opponent, I don't know. This guy, he's fine. Oh no. Okay. Oh boy, he's still hitting me. Oh boy. Do I not have... Okay, jeez. Can we get one of these? Can we get one of... Oh no, that's the wrong element. Oh, it's gotta be this. Okay. Alright, hold on, just make sure. Hold on, just keep applying shit. Alright, here. Okay, alright. Back off. We just didn't beat this guy, so like, not bad. He's got most of the dots. He doesn't have fire, which is actually kind of a... Oh, nice. Caught it. Alright, he's gonna die here though, because we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna punch him a few more times, and then we're gonna do one of these. Oh no, I missed it. That's fine. Okay, he's almost dead though. Oh, he doesn't have poison on him anymore. Okay, so yeah, so they had these, like, Lords of the Fallen has tutorials, right? They had the tutorial that like confused me the most was like, after you get the lamp, they're like, oh, you can use the stick to like move the I don't know, the way that it was like worded, it just like wasn't like intuitive to me. But I guess they were trying to tell you that like when you soulflay something, you can like control where their spirit moves out. So I didn't know that you could do that. And, you know, I had to watch a YouTube video later, and someone said that, like, you can, like, flay them off the edge, and they, like, snap to their soul or whatever. And that was, like, I was so far past the, like, Pilgrim's Perch with the spiky head guys to, like, make use of that tip, but I was like, wow, that would, you know, that was, like, some tech I was, like, not aware of. I honestly got to the point where, like, because, like, every time I would flay one of those guys, because, like, those are the guys you're like, okay, like, what... Obviously, the first thing that I want to do to these big-ass tanky guys that are, like, annoying to fight is I want to give myself, like, an advantage. So, I'm going to start out by, like, stunning them with the Soul Flay. This little fucking guy's beating the piss out of me here. I'm going to stun them with the Soul Flay, and I'm just going to go ham and get as much, like, wither damage as I can. And then every time you do that, the guy, like, he comes out of Soulflay, like, right next to you, and, like, in an attack animation. At least, like, that's how it happened to me, like, 90% of the time for those big spiky guys. And it would hit me for so much damage, like, insane, like, well above 50% of my health every time I did something like that. And I was wearing, like, medium armor, like, as far as you could go without getting heavy, pretty much. Like the entire time. So it just felt like ridiculous to even use the fucking lamp for anything other than just like getting in and out of Umbral, or like exploring Umbral, or like holding it up to like cross a part of Umbral while you stay in Axiom. I just like never found it to be useful in combat. It just seemed like, why would you even like waste the time? Because like a lot of times like the enemies that you even like I don't need to fucking soul flay a dog or something, like, you know, I kill the dog in like 2 hits or whatever. I don't need to make a big show about it and soul flay them, you know. And then like the people that you would soul flay, I guess, it's like fun to fight them. It's like finally a part of the game that like is actually like fun to play, where like this is like a night enemy or something, and you're like, you know, you're doing the fight with them, and it's just like, this is the cool part. This is like the part that I want to engage in. So like I don't necessarily like want to soul flay him, because like most of the other time you're just killing mindless fucking hordes of like little throwaway fodder enemies. Like especially if you're an Umbral, you're just constantly killing little zombie guys. It's so repetitive. Kind of another reason that like I don't want to play it. Like it's just like kill that guy simulator with like the game, that mob simulator, basically. To be incredibly cynical about it. You know, with some spice dropped in, don't get me wrong, it's got like the Umbral mechanic and stuff, which I'll like get to. I did like that part, but so that's pretty much everything. Other than that, like I liked like I just said, I liked the Umbral mechanic, so I liked that aspect of the lamp. But I thought that the lamp, the use of it in combat was, you know, it felt bad a lot of the time. Like you had to like get a parasite guy, and it felt like it takes a long time to like get in range and then be able to like channel it for long enough that you actually like kill the thing without like taking a hit from some bosses. Like I think the paladin boss at the bottom of the Tower of Penance had a parasite, and it's like risky to get it if it's like, you know, which is like, okay, I mean, but yeah, I don't know. You know, like the game obviously like allows you moments to get it without taking damage. I was able to find those, don't get me wrong, but you know, it just often felt like kind of bad to have to do that, to like siphon the parasite off, and like, you know, you can just like well ignore it, because like a lot of times you don't know exactly like what it's doing. You know, and I watched a lot of people that were like playing this game during reviews and stuff like that. I saw a lot of them just like fight the bosses just fine with the parasites, and then they'd die and go to Umbral, and then they'd notice it, and then they'd get rid of it then. And it's just like, okay. So nothing really different there. So I don't know, it was like I said, it was hard to distinguish. Like I knew about it, like there were times where like I wouldn't like there are times where like I think some of the bosses maybe like started without it, or like started out of range of it and then got it midway, and so I didn't notice it right away or whatever. But I don't know, there was because like I noticed it immediately on Lord of whatever, and like you take it off, and what it does is it like prevents him from like having poison on his attacks or something like that. Because like I never really had to deal with the poison other than when he like hits the ground, and then like poison stuff would come out. Oh my god, fucking legit. Okay, that's fine though, because this is what I want. Oh god, this guy. He's poison, he's always... I don't remember exactly what I was talking about now. Something with like the lamp. The lamp was annoying. Like like I said, the lamp didn't feel good. Pulling the enemies to me felt bad. Like the bosses you couldn't actually like use it on. The parasites were kind of stupid. Even when they were integrated into boss fights, like you could also like just completely ignore it and it didn't like change anything. Like I didn't manage to use any of the parasites well against the Hush Saint. Every time I did, I just got hit by him because it took too long. Like I just couldn't get the timing right with like getting it to explode like by him like without like also putting myself in danger. So you know, I just didn't do it, and it didn't make the fight. It didn't seem to like make the fight harder. It made it longer for sure, because I think that like gets him off his horse like right away. So I guess I didn't have like that advantage for like having completed it or whatever, but my weapon fell off. Oh, I didn't get the blue on him. Oh, I missed that. There we go. So yeah, let me talk about the ranged weapon, and then I guess I'll talk about roll, or like I'll give thoughts on that a little bit. What do I have to do? Defeat incoming invaders. Okay. So the ranged weapon was great because like the worst part about Elden Ring, like I played a lot of the Elden Ring Convergence mod, which is just so fucking fun, and like because it just like revamps like all the spells, and it gives like a really great like kind of like starter class theme to every character, and you get this really awesome like sense of progression, and you have like a lot of useful spells in that mod. So you realize like how weak the fucking Dark Souls spell library, or like not library, interface is when you play that game with that mod. And this game has the exact opposite problem. Like the spell casting interface in this game is great, and it's like that's exactly what you do in WoLong. You hold the fucking trigger down, and then you you get access to a spell bar, and then you cast your spells out there. So you know it's like, yeah, this has been done in before, even in games I like already, and so. Yeah, it would be great if From adopts something like that, because yeah, it makes the whole like ranged aspect of the game like so much more enjoyable, and like being able to like fit up. That is kind of I guess I'm a little like I managed it, like the catalyst that you get in the beginning. I think it was like 4 slots, and then you get one with like 3 slots, and it feels like it doesn't really feel good to like cut one of them, because like a lot of the spells that you're using in the beginning of the game are mostly like buffs. Because you don't really get the spell pacing is like not very good in the game, I would say, and so you know, it's like when you get cut down to like, oh, the 2 buffs that I'm always using, and then like 1 damage spell rather than like 2 buffs and 2 damage spells, like it feels pretty fucking bad. It feels pretty great when you get the 5th catalyst. It would also be great to know whether or not like you could upgrade the catalyst slots, because like I had the little like squid one, and I think I upgraded to like level 6 before I stopped, because I was like, dude, I don't think I'm gonna get any other fucking I don't think I'm gonna get any extra slots by upgrading this. Like it didn't feel like. So yeah, I just stopped upgrading it, and then like I eventually found the 3 slot one, and I purposefully didn't upgrade that one very much, because you know I upgraded it enough like for what like I felt like I had resources to spare for, but like I didn't go like ham on it, because I'm like, this thing's I want to replace this thing ASAP. Like it's technically a stat upgrade. You know, for where I was at, I felt like I got like better scaling and shit on it overall, but I was like really happy to get rid of it. And then I got the I eventually got that like Lord Brescu's one, and I think it's called that, the finger one from the depths. And like, damn, I was just so happy about that. And that one's great. I've upgraded it to a 10 as like soon as I got it, and it was pretty amazing. These guys are not weak to that, right? They're weak to this, I think. Ugh. Oh my god, what is that? Oh my god, oh no, this is not backfiring, but like it's gotten very annoying. Oh man. Oh god. Oh, okay, we got past that guy. Oh no, this guy's hitting me with a stick. They never do that. Okay, alright. Relax. Back to this. We're gonna kill this guy in one shot right here. Oh my god, we got the frost on though, it's fine. We're gonna hit him. He's gonna get frosted here. In a second. There we go. Drill. Okay. Alright, crisis averted. Jesus. Alright, this guy. That, and then, Earth him up. Oh my god, just deleted. Obsidian nerd. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's much to say about that. I guess it's like, it's good. The casting interface, I even like the fact that like when you take the catalyst off and you put another one on, and then you put the other one back on, it like remembers what you have like selected and bound. Oh my god, that's great. It was fantastic. It's a great system. I hope that Dark Souls like adopts it. Please, I can't stand the like cycling up on the D-pad thing. It fucking I just don't want to do it. I hate it. But this interface was like really nice, and you know, I didn't know that they had that, and I started as like an Inferno character or whatever, and it quickly was like, wow, this is like one of the best parts of the game right here, is this fucking like casting thing. It's a shame that you had to share it with the fucking lantern. And like, yeah, I always wanted the lantern to be useful. I remember like I would cast like a lot of buffs on myself, and then I would like kind of just fight things. I had some range spells which I started to leverage a lot at the end once I got like a ton of spell power off that catalyst. But for the most part, I was using like poison weapon and umbral weapon, and then just like fighting shit. Hold on, what am I doing here? This guy. Oh man. Alright guy, come on. Alright, where do I go in this map? So alright, so let's talk about Umbral, I guess. So I liked the Umbral mechanic a lot. That was like one of the things that I thought was like pretty cool about the game, like going into it, was I was like, okay, it's gonna be like Dark Souls, but it's gonna have this like lamp thing where you go like between the worlds, so that should be neat. And you know, it was neat. It was it added a lot of like flavor to each kind of area, and it had like a real source of tension in the beginning, at least, with the like growing presence, and knowing that the like red wraith was gonna like come get you, and you had to like get out. Not so much towards like the end, I guess, but you know, for the beginning, I thought that was like kind of cool. The worst part about Umbral was just the fact that there were so many fucking zombies, man. It was such a bore to like fight in there. You know, if they could have just like designed, like that's probably like way too much to ask, I guess. I don't know, but like it really should have been like maybe designed like with totally different like enemy layout in the Umbral realm. Like maybe that's what the difference is in the upper realm. There's like a lot of like solo guys that are like really tough, but in the Umbral realm it's more like Zergy and there's a lot of guys or something. Because that seems to be something that like a lot of people are complaining about, is like the enemy density and stuff like that, which I particularly like didn't have like an issue with. Wait, am I very full now? But overall, I liked the use of the Umbral mechanic. I liked engaging with it. I liked the extra layer it added to the game. Overall, I thought it was like really cool and succeeded in being like a noteworthy gimmick, like much more so than like the lantern. Although I guess the lantern and Umbral like kind of go hand in hand. But like that's the thing, is that like the lantern just kind of became this thing that like they needed to do like a little bit more with the Umbral, like in terms of like the combat, and they didn't. Like you just Umbral and then you're just fighting like these zombies. You're just like mashing fucking R1 like the entire time. You're like fighting these stupid little zombies, and you know, every now and then you find a moth and she's like really annoying because of like how many zombies there are, and she's like really tanky, so even when you try and like focus her, it's hard to kill her, and she has a lot of bullshit. Like she has like this grab attack she does that like basically can like one-shot you depending on like how low your vitality is, and then she does this like tornado thing that does a ton of like wither damage to you, and then like she's constantly spawning more little guys, so like they're constantly hitting your wither health, so like it's just really like it's got like novelty to it, but like it gets arthritic really quick. like it wears out the cartilage of the joint that it's working in like no time flat, and before you know it, you've got bone on bone, and you hate it more than anything. It's like like I have had arthritis, like arthritic pain, and it's like it's fucking insane how bad it hurts. And I don't know, at the risk of sounding like a little bitch or whatever, but like I found it pretty displeasurable. So anyways, and discomfortable. So you know, let's just say it would suck. So like that's what this game was, is like the novelty just like wore down like really quick, and then it was like it just started wearing on my nerves, and that kind of also proved true with like the vestige system as well, which I guess is slightly tied to Umbral. I guess I don't really have much more to say about Umbral. Like, okay, so the one other thing I will say about Umbral, and this ties into like the boss, the thing with the bosses being like noteworthy or like not noteworthy as well, and then like kind of also tying into like my combat complaint, is like there's just not enough going on with the bosses in the lamp. Like in Remnant 2, which maybe not everyone has played or whatever, but like I recently played it. It's a game that came out this year, and 2023 has been like a pretty banger game for years, and Remnant is like an insanely good game. I don't think, like off the top of my head, I haven't like really analyzed like everything about it, but I don't think I could give it anything lower than an 8. And I think that might even be like low. It might need to go up a whole number. It's very good. And the end boss in that game, you like teleport between dimensions. Well, like you fight it in this first phase, and then when you kill it, you go into the second phase, and then after you get it to like 75% or something like that in the second phase, it starts teleporting you in between the first and the second phase, and like the health bar is like shared, and it teleports you out like mid animations and stuff like that, when like giant attacks are gonna happen, so that you have to like react perfectly with a dodge or whatever, like as soon as you get teleported, which might also be mid animation for something that is happening in the other boss. And it's really, really fucking cool, and it sounds like hectic or whatever, maybe a little bit, but like it's done incredibly well. I loved it. It's like one of the coolest boss fights I've ever done in a video game ever. It's super memorable. The boss's annihilation. I even have a video of it on my YouTube channel, not specifically because that, but I was just making a video about defeating the last boss, and that's another thing too. It happens to be a very fitting like last boss for that game, as well, I would say. How this guy's Jesus. And anyways, they don't have anything cool in that. I mean, like, I guess that would be like a lot to ask for. Although it's not. When you have this fucking mechanic, if you're gonna make this mechanic, like, you know, you should be trying to do like as many cool things as you fucking can. Like, you know, I don't give a shit that the game is like on Unreal Engine 5. Like, don't get me wrong, the game looks nice and stuff like that. It looks very nice. But you know, it's like I'd rather have you put more time and money into like developing your game mechanics more. That's like what's gonna last with me. Not really like the fucking pixel density or whatever. Anyways, so yeah, there's no like split version of the bosses. Like, it would have been so sick if there were like Umbral versions of them and Axiom versions of them, and you could like interact with them in that way, but not really. And maybe that's like, I mean, there kind of is, in the sense that like they might have like a little bit of a different way that they work in Umbral. And also, like, all the damage that you take in Umbral is like wither damage, which is like worthy to note. It does kind of influence the way that like combat works and stuff. But I would have liked something more than that. Like, if you're ever hoping to like create a Souls game that I would be willing to give more than a 6, you know, you gotta be coming with it with like, what you're trying to present to me. Because like, everyone's doing this. Everyone's just doing the fucking like John Dark Souls, and you get a fucking sword and you like go through the castle and you press B to dodge. Like, bro, they're like, there's a game called like Astrologia or something like that, and you play a fucking girl and it's got Souls-like combat in it, and you know, and it's like, and it's got like the art style of like Kingdom Hearts. It's like very tween aimed, you know, and it's very like female aimed and stuff like that. So like, I'm just saying that like these games are like a dime a dozen now, and they're even being made for like girls to like appeal to them and stuff, and give them a similar type of experience, at least combat wise. At least it seems like it. You know, this has just become like a very popular like combat system, and I appreciate that you like elaborated on it a little bit, or elaborated on your gameplay a little bit with the lamp and the transporting between worlds. But like, if you're gonna try and like box on the same you know, the same belt class or whatever as fucking FromSoft, you know, you gotta bring me some kind of crazy cinematic shit where like me going into the Umbral realm like changes the fight completely, and that's like part of the mechanic or something like that. And then like I still get the you know, I'm trying to think of like how you make that work with the double life, which by the way, I love double lives, by the way. So let me see that in case I get the lap around to it and praise it later. But like, just do that. Just make it that like, because we're the lamp bearer, we get 2 lives. There you go. And then you can make it so that like bosses do cool, crazy shit in the Umbra realm, and that you're like supposed to get there at like certain parts in the fight or something. And you know, yeah. But otherwise, you know, like I said, for what it is, you just get like you know, like, just as it is, it's just like a very nice looking game with very like passable combat, and a great like art style, and it's got like a couple like memorable fights and stuff like that. It's probably like a really good like I was gonna say it's probably like a good like baby's first Dark Souls, but like also kind of not. There's some things about it that are like really shitty that like I would hate if I was a new player, like the Vestige system. So that was like a disappointment about like the Umbral realm and everything like that. Was just like I felt like you guys could do like really crazy cool shit with it, and I just don't feel like you did like enough. And you know, in terms of exploration and stuff, like it's great, but you just didn't really like integrate it well into like combat and stuff like that. And that's like really where we're looking for innovation in the Souls series. Like, it's not enough to just like change the way that like the range stuff works. It's like that's shit that's been outdated for, you know, over 10 years now at this point, it feels like. So you know, I'm glad that you did it, but I also, like, you know, it would have been bad if you didn't. um, yeah, we almost just killed this guy, so we're doing this down, rushing like that. Okay, I think that that's everything with like Umbral and the lamp and the bosses. So now we'll talk about, I guess, like a little bit about like the world and like the vestige thing, and then I'll just talk about like personally like how I played through it and like that. So wait, am I on the last bosses now? I'm on blind. Oh God, I hate blindfolded. Zhang Bao, who I think that's the fire guy, and then a random person. Okay. So blindfolded boy, I think I usually like to start poison on him, but that's probably not that great. I should probably just start shock. Shock and then stone. Not sure. Did I hit him in the air when he did that? Because I was trying. I don't know exactly what I was trying to do there. I thought it would be crazy if I jumped in the air and deflected and caught him. Zhang Bao, this guy? Fire guy? How are you supposed to dodge that? Oh my god. Let's rebuff. Second one? Nice. Oh, nice. Alright, mystery. This guy, I'm so tired of this guy. Only because of this stupid hitbox. Alright, so I thought the world was like pretty cool. Like most of like the art and you know, that kind of like the flavor of the world and like the atmosphere and the different locations and stuff. Like they were all pretty cool. It was cool looking into the distance and like seeing the beacons and stuff like that. And I think you could see like a deer's hand, and then like Umbral was also like really, really neat. Every time you go into it, it's like scary to be there, but like it looks really fucking cool also. So I thought that was all like pretty good. I really dislike the vestige system and the vestige seeds specifically. So the game like kind of shoots itself in the foot with this, because the first few vestige seeds that they give you, like you don't really get that. I mean, like, or I suppose that it's easy to overlook the fact that like every vestige seed that you plant like removes the last one. So it felt like, oh, you killed the boss, like here you go, you can now plant the bonfire here, and it's like, okay, cool, here you go, here's the bonfire, and then you walk down the hall, and then there's a vestige, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'll get this too, and you immediately feel like an idiot. because you're like, oh, that was kind of a waste. I didn't need to use that there, I guess, but I did. And then okay, and then you get another one, and you do that, and the same fucking thing happens. It feels like the first couple of Vestige seeds you get, you like plant them reflexively, and then the game is like, hey, here's a real vestige, and you just are like, oh my god. And if you got the game on release day like I did, I never even considered buying the moths or whatever or the seeds at Melu, but like they were really expensive. They're like 2,400 vigor or something, which is like a lot. Um, yeah, and I just didn't like that. Like this is kind of back. This kind of circles back to the whole like why make a Souls game? Like what are the things that people like about Souls games? I don't think this is like one of the things. Is this like real like one of the best things about Elden Ring is that there's so many fucking bonfires and like Stakes America and like shit for you to respawn in it. Like that is like really annoying. That's like a thing that gets people to like turn your game off and like stop playing is like you spawn them so far back and they have to run through the same content and like and then like what's worse is that like you know like all these games are doing too is like and this is I don't know how I feel about this either because I kind of hate the dropping your souls thing now that I've like played a lot of these games. I kind of hate it. You know, it's like when you respawn, it's like your whole fucking like life's work is like on the line. You know, you don't even get to take any of that shit that you did like back with you and like get stronger so that like when you run through it again, you know, it at least isn't as big of a pain in the ass. You have to like do it again and like get back to your fucking shit. It's just really, and then what? Then you're supposed to like teleport again because you like back to where you, because you might die. Like, you know, it just puts you in like a pretty shitty spot that I don't really think is like interesting gameplay. Like, I don't like the idea of like, oh, well, like I'm probably gonna die, so I should teleport back to the thing anyways because like I'm gonna be here in like 5 minutes anyway. Like that's just like not the way that you want to like think about it. Because like of course you want to like go go go. You want to step on the gas. You want to blast, as they say, right? You just want to be going all the time. So I don't like this like soul restriction thing. Like in WoLong, they take half your souls, and then if you like kill the guy that killed you, you get it. Or if it's a boss room, you get it like right away. So like you like at least never have to like contend for your souls in like a boss, which is a good change. But like yeah, I kind of hate this. Like I kind of wish that they would stop this would like go away as like a design thing. Like I don't think it's like that fun. It creates like really feels bad moments that I guess are like funny in retrospect. Like it always feels funny to like look back and like, oh man, there was this one point where I lost like 20,000 souls and that was a big deal because I was like 7 levels. And you know you can say it now with like a smile and you know and be the butt of the joke or whatever. But like when it happens to you, it does feel like fucking horrible. You're just like, God damn it, dude. Or like when you forget that you like haven't got them yet, you're like fighting a boss and like you die and you like see your souls in the distance and you're just like, fuck, I forgot to get those and that was a lot. And you've been doing the thing where you've been like chaining attempts where you're like you're fucking up every attempt because you're picking up that like 10,000 souls or whatever, but like it's important to you, so you get it. It's just dumb gameplay. Like I'm kind of over it at this point. A lot of games provide it that are in the past. If people want that experience, they can go play one of those. But like the people that are making games in the future, please make them without this mechanic, or like find a different way to like do this, because it's really not very interesting to me. And it's not fun to wear like a ring or some stupid shit that like when you die it destroys itself and preserves your souls like they do in Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Like I don't like that either. Like there were enough items, I will say, in this game that they give you that kind of like, you know, you can like homeward bone without losing your vigor, and there's a couple of moths that you can like eat that make it so when you die you don't lose them, but there's not enough. Yeah, it's just, you know, whatever. It's an outdated thing. I think you get rid of it. And this is kind of like This is again what I mean when I like say with the bosses where like you're not elevating. It's like, dude, have you seen Moog? You know how cool of a boss Moog is? Have you seen his arena and like how you have to get to him and like the thought that went into the presentation of just like when you go through the portal and you come out of that black cave and you see fucking Mogwin? It's insane. There's nothing that even comes close to that in this game. And I know Elden Ring is like totally different. You know, it's the freshest thing in my mind. It would probably be more pertinent to make an analogous comparison to Dark Souls 3 because it's more small and like linear like this game is. But you know, we're talking, you know, some people are saying that this is like on the level of like From Software, and I'm just like, you know, like hold on, you know, like what From Software does is like pretty special. Let's like not forget that. You know, I know everyone likes to just fucking, you know, not anyone can design a Dark Souls game. Like, I know that they're coming, I said they're a dime a dozen, and they are, but that's just B-roll combat with, like, right bumper attacks are, like, popular. Those are a dime a dozen, but, like, not the same, like, the way that, like, Dark Souls is and stuff like that. It's not exactly the same. And, like, one of the ways that, like, From Stuff stands out is, like, their way to present things to you in the world and design them in a way that, like, makes you like intrigued and you're not just going over there because you're addicted to video games. Like you need to fucking know like what's at the top of that castle and like what's in that place that's glowing red over there. I've seen it like 6 times in the game. Now here I am finally, you know? And then when you fight Moog, the arena is nuts. I will say I'm not like the hugest fan, I guess, of like the like part where he like almost kills you. I guess it's fine, but it's, you know, it's kind of weird. I guess it's kind of cool because he like regains like a bunch of health and like I take that back. It you know, he's one of their side weird bosses or whatever, and they were like experimenting with it, and I like the experimentation they did with him way more than I did with Millennia. Millennia's bullshit. But Moog is actually kind of cool. And I guess there's an item in the game that like lets you negate it. But by the time that you get to him, like I think I had like full Estus Flasks and stuff already, and they like are healing for like the maximum amount. So like you just chug like one after every time he does it, and it's like big deal. So like I don't have 3 Estus Flasks or whatever. Like, you know, by that time in the game, you're also like pretty good. So he's not like that hard to beat, and he's like pretty squishy once you figure out like you can't stand in the fire at all because it also bleeds you. But yeah, like when Mo gets like wings and he's like flying through the air and he like looks magnificent and the blood and the fire is like everywhere and the fucking music is swelling, like, you know, there's just like nothing in this game that like really compares. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not the same. Especially with like the cutscenes before and stuff. Like there were a couple cutscenes in this, like little in-game cutscenes and stuff before, and they were all right. But you know, they're not. Again, they're not the same like level of quality. And like I don't think Elden Ring was made in Unreal 5 or whatever. So you know, it goes to show that like even when you have this like really high graphics engine, you know, it does still like kind of come down to you guys to like make sure that the character is like emote and stuff like that in a way that is like recognizable. So fuck, I don't remember what exactly got me to that. I guess like the world design and stuff, which like I said, I thought was cool. Like there are some parts where like things like connect back into each other, but you know, you have the ability to like warp to the vestiges, so a lot of the shortcuts didn't really feel like you know, when you find the shortcut, you're like, oh cool, because you immediately have to use it because you haven't found a vestige in like fucking 20 minutes. And so you need to keep going to like a familiar vestige because you just need a fucking rest at that point. But other than that, it doesn't really feel like super incredible when you find a shortcut because they give you fast travel so early into the game, which is like, I think that's why I heard like Ratatosk would make this point where he's like, that's why it's so special in Dark Souls 1 is because you don't get fast travel to like the like mid to late game bridge point. And so like all the shortcuts feel really meaningful because you're like, oh shit, now I don't have to like walk all the way from here to get to there. I can like use this, you know, door that I found over here, this elevator or whatever it is. Oh my god. Oh my god! What was that? Damn, man, that guy... Yeah, almost fucking killed me. Yeah, I guess I gotta just play a little bit more. It's like the first level, I guess. It's technically the hardest level. So yeah, I mean, I appreciate that they did that. The fact that they like try to make the world like as interconnected as possible, and like some parts feel cool and stuff like that. And like, you know, they also did this like mysterious kind of like map thing. It kind of reminded me of like Tunic a little bit. I don't think it's like as appropriate for a game like this, but they did it, and you know, that's some novelty, I guess. Yeah, and I guess like I guess I kind of made it hard to get like I don't know. Oh my god, am I actually like full on items again? I have to rest at a thing. What is this? Dangerous? Oh man, a Lubu and Oye? Oh my god. I don't even know what morale I'm at. Or we have to fight Lubu with the halberds. So then I get Bamboo Sever and Beckoning Pine. Yeah, so like I liked going through the world, but like it never felt home like Dark Souls was. I also like beat it way faster. I don't know if I would have beat Dark Souls as fast as like I didn't play Dark Souls in 2012 or whatever. By the way, I played it. I don't know. I want to say like 2017. I know Dark Souls 3 it was out by then. Oh shit! I'm like Lubu so fast. Oh shit! I was supposed to go halberds. Oh, this Lubu. Fire, baby. We get that poison, baby. We can. Oh, we got a little greedy there, but we can interrupt him now. Put one of these down. Oh. Get out of it. Okay, we got him. Alright, and then Ayoye is, he's water, so we start earth. We have no spirit there, though. I don't know. Nature, get that on real fast. Oh no, I went water second, because I'm dumb. I should have gone poison. We're gonna get the fire, though. We got the fire. Okay, get up for it, then we get the poison. Big smackaroo there. Oh, nice. He's dead. Alright, here we go. Oh, ah, shit. All this stuff is going to my storage because I forgot to go to the thing. Who is it? Yuan Shao. Oh, this guy's super easy. Those hate so much garbage just went to my fucking storage. God, to do the thing. This is pretty easy. What else? What else? I didn't really go into combat outside of like the movement. I didn't really talk about the weapons, I guess. Or really talk about the spell. Oh yeah, I was gonna do that once. Once we start talking about it. So we're talking about kind of like the world design and the looping and stuff like that. Like I don't know. Like I said, I think the fast travel kind of diminishes that in some way. And I really hated. Yeah, I was complaining about the bonfires and the vestiges and stuff. Okay, so like, just give me bonfires. You know, that would be my argument. Is like, I don't know. I don't play these games to like respawn in like really shitty spots or have to redo it over and over again. And then I was complaining about the shit. Am I just up like alright, so we. Oh, this guy is so annoying. I hate this boss. Oh no, I should do poison next. No, I should. Correct. Yeah, cause like so, you know, because it just, like, it makes you, like, have to redo all the content again, right? You drop your souls. It feels fucking bad. You just, like, oh my god. And if you have no vestige seeds, it feels terrible. And, like, in some areas, it just feels like you run over, like, little areas where you can plant the vestiges, like, so close between each other. And it feels so dumb. You just feel like, dude, every time I put one of these fucking down, I feel like I'm going to walk down a hallway and there's going to be another fucking seed bed. And I'm just going to be like, God! I just didn't like it. It was just like, it's a resource that, like, I'm not used to managing in these kind of games. It's like, where am I going to fucking respawn? That's like a job that I don't fucking want, man. That's your job as a developer. Like, you tell me where I'm going to fucking respawn. And make it, like, not a pain in the fucking ass. In fact, like I said, it's better designed when there's, like, more of them. Like, I like it better when in Elden Ring, where there's, like, a vestige down the hall from a vestige. And you're like, oh my god, whatever. Like, it's just better to have more of them. Like, I don't give a shit. Because, like, for every two that are, like, too close to each other, there's 1,000 other ones that are perfectly placed, and they make sense, and they, like, just lessen that burden on you. And it's like, thank fucking god, man. Like, you know, I don't want to have to deal with this kind of shit all the time. Like, I'm here to fight bosses and, like, fight fucking guys. Like, the run back is, like, not my favorite part of the fucking game. Like, I don't mind dying, but, like, don't make dying be, like, this fucking, like, gigantic, painful experience that, like, wastes a fucking ton of my time. I want to spend time dying, I don't want to spend time being dead. Like, that's, like, the best way I can put it. These guys, what are we doing now? Let's do these. So I didn't like this system. And I guess, like, another reason I wouldn't do, like, NG+, like, we've all heard, it's been confirmed a million times, and they're making changes to how some of the other, you know, NGs work or whatever. But, you know, originally they designed it so that NG+, you just have one vestige, and now they made it so that by the time you get to 3, you only have one. But by the time you get to New Game Plus 3, you'll only have the one vestige or whatever. But it's like, dude, I don't, why... You know, and it's like, don't get me wrong, like, they made, so we'll talk about the density of mobs and shit like that, I guess, a little bit, as well now. We'll kind of bring that in. It's like, I didn't find that to be, like, too big of an issue, because, like, your weapons swing really wide, and most of the mobs are pretty fucking stupid that are, like, swarming you and stuff for the most part anyways, so, like, they really aren't, like, a pain in the ass. And I also started with, like, a catalyst that let me cast, like, Inferno, Fireball, or whatever. So, like, I was always able to, like, take the range guys out from range myself. So I didn't really find that to be, like, an issue. And, like, I don't know. There was, like, a part in the swamp where I was, like, really grooving, where, like, there was, like, 2 cats on me, and there was, like, a couple zombies, and there were, like, these little, like, frog, lizard, fat, poison babies. Um, that like would roll on the ground and then jump at you. And I thought it was pretty fun, like kiting them backwards and like making sure that I was like dodging in the right time to like not get hit by these guys, but then make sure I could like there was something like satisfying about that. So like I found some enjoyment and satisfaction out of like the game being like pretty stuffed with enemies and things to kill. It was mostly like when I got to the bosses where it was like, oh, this is kind of like I kill them like really fast, or they're just like not very engaging, or they have like some stupid thing that I don't really like, and I'm like waiting for, like Spurn Progeny and like Hush Saint were like that. Like the part of Hush Saint where he's hold on, what color? That one's I think that one's weak to poison. Okay, like Hush Saint, where he's like on his horse and he's just like riding back and forth, he's invincible, or the dragon guy, the lamp bearer guy, not lamp bearer guy, the light bringer, pain bringer, the guy that flies on the dragon and he like swoops by with fire and then he like jumps down, or the dragon jumps down and then he swoops by with fire again and he jumps down and then he gets off and then you fight him. That's stupid. I don't like those kind of things where it's like the boss is like not targetable or like invincible. Like that's not fun. Waiting for them to like become available to attack isn't fun. So I didn't really like that. And so it's like, yeah, I don't know. This is kind of the thing where it's like, you know, again, we come to that like ceiling of 6 where it's like I feel like you guys are really like doing a lot to like iterate on the parts of the Souls genre. You just like have all this stupid shit. You have your like vague lore and your fucking tooltips with like lore tidbits on them. And it's just like, dude, you're not trying to make anything like that much better. You're just like making the same thing again, and like some of it's like better, and then like most of it's not even as good as like the thing that you're copying. So, but you know, I don't think this game could be like lower than a 5. You know. So I feel like it's got to be a 6 because it does like some things right. It's got like some competency to it. It did release in like a pretty shitty state, I suppose, but there's like some varying degrees of that. They're, you know, it's one of those things again where it seems like the devs care, right? They're patching the shit out of this game, and you know, they were forced to like switch engines and all sorts of stuff by the producers that made it and things of that nature. So you know. I don't know, like I said, I got through it before the performance shit became like a real big issue, but it was starting to really fucking piss me off. It was starting to get really obtrusive and affect my enjoyment, so I'm glad I was able to finish it before I did. So I won't knock it like a ton for the performance. I don't know if it's better now because like I haven't tried, like, and like I said, I thought my performance got worse and it's been patched like 4 or 5 times since I stopped playing, so like I can't imagine it's gonna be much better. So yeah, so I haven't like gone to confirm that or this is a time limit one. Died like this. Piece of shit. I don't remember. I don't remember what I was last bitching about. I thought it was dumb that you had to unlock the blacksmith because I fucking missed it. I got pretty... Oh, I was talking about like bosses having like really long attacks where you couldn't do anything. I thought Sperm Progeny was bad too for that reason. Like, there's a lot of things about Sperm Progeny I thought was like, I just found that boss like so fucking annoying. Oh my god, just it's so long, and the amount of time that you have to attack his hands is like not long enough. I was using a longsword at the time, and like it's so fast when you have a longsword. You just get one hit on it. It feels so fucking bad. And I just eventually just like, fuck, I was just like, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna like stand over here and I'm just gonna fight him from range because like he's way easier from range. He just, he does that little like mine thing on the ground, and like after you dodge that, you can just throw shit at him and like hit through that again, and like you're whatever. It's fine. It's a stupid fight. It's fucking bad. I didn't like it. I like the idea of like the arena filling with lava and then you have to like switch, but like those kind of fights are just like not fun. They're fucking miserable. You gotta find a way to like keep it engaging. Like if we had then run up and then like the camera like zooms in on us as we get to the one platform, and then we're like on this one platform and we're fighting him there, and like he's positioned in a way that he's like always over the platform so you can hit him. Like, then okay, yeah, we're going somewhere with that, but like you're not doing that. You're just doing this like fucking thing where like now I'm fighting this giant guy, and like I'm not made to fight a giant guy, so the combat just feels horrible. It's like that's just like not a fun boss. Like all the like a lot of the major fucking bosses are like pretty fucking bad. Like they start you off like really good with Pieta, but it's like pimp logic where it's like, you know, they give you 2 good weeks of your life and then you spend the rest of your fucking life chasing those 2 weeks. Cause like you really don't eat that great after Pieta. Like maybe Congregator of Flesh? Is that his name? Congregator of Flesh? Oh my god, I've been trying to say like Lord of Congregation or something like that the whole time, but like, holy crap. I think that's what it is. Oh god, please just die, my dude. There's another one here. Why did I reference that guy now? I don't remember, but well, like, cause I thought it was noteworthy. Not really. He's just a big lumbering guy, and you just hit his feet. Zuchu, Zhang Lao. Man, this is a hard one, but we'll take it. I can beat the shit out of Lu Chu. I think I gotta go. I think with Lu Chu, I want to go like Earth into nature, Earth into lightning into poison. Okay, we're gonna get up to him though and land. Oh man, he's gonna dispel it right away though. That's the thing, is he's a fucking. He does a lot of nature stuff. Killed him though. Let's go for the gusto there. Right now. Oh, I didn't. This is not what I want for this guy. I want poison. Did you dispel that? Oh, that was perfectly timed. Alright, 2 hard guys dead. Put Earth on just in case it's Diane Lee. Oh shit. Not Diane Lee, who's the bird guy? Or the whale guy? Okay, I'm just gonna say that like wait, hold on, who is it? Zhang Liao and Dong Zhuo. Zhang Liao and Dong Zhuo. Okay, so I will say that like I had fun going through the levels. Like I eventually like got into the combat and like I found a good build and stuff like that, and things started clicking, and like I had a pretty good time going to it. I was like looking forward to like turning the game on and playing it. I had fun with the game. Like the game wasn't horrible, but it's just not. I wouldn't believe any hype around the game or anything like that. I think it's just fine. I think it's a fine experience. I think the developers have like some good things going for them and things like that. Um, if you're just looking for like, a more run-of-the-mill kind of like Souls-like experience that it kind of harkens back to the old Dark Souls 1 or whatever, this is kind of it. I've heard that Lies of P is the thing that it keeps getting compared to and stuff like that, and I've heard that like Lies of P is like way harder. Fuck, it's the wrong. Hold on, again. And then Dong, which is water. So yeah, I didn't like the vested seed thing. We'll talk about that. I like going through the levels and everything. So okay, now we should probably I should probably talk about my playthrough or whatever, like my experience with what I did and like and things like that. So started the game. I think I have some of this recorded, but like I don't know. I really don't know how much I have. Like most of the beginning stuff is recorded. I think I played the game for like I don't know, like 2 hours before I remember to start recording on it. So I went through the classes, and I felt like playing. Like after I looked at all the classes, I was like, you know what, the Pyromancer like looks really cool. I wasn't like planning on playing Magic or anything like that. Although it's been a while since I played a Magic, kind of whatever in Souls like or whatever. And so I was just like digging the look of it and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, let's go with this. It says advanced class on it, but I'm like, dude, I play Souls and shit all the time. I'm like really good at these kind of games. I have like good reflexes still and shit like that. So I'm like, I can play an advanced class. It's fine. So I went with the Pyromancer. You get kind of frustrated in the beginning as the Pyromancer because it hits you pretty early how you're just using one ability. You're like, okay, I have this fucking fireball, and I'm like really, I feel like I've gotten a ways, and like I haven't been given another spell. Like not even a replacement to fireball, but just like another spell. Holy shit. and it's starting to feel real bad. And like I haven't really found any items that like scale off of Inferno, and like my character has like 8 strength and 8 agility, and it doesn't feel so. So you're like, it doesn't feel like I have to get any. I'd have to invest a lot of levels, and it started 18 Inferno, so you're like, I'd have to invest a lot of levels, like 4 or 5 levels in like strength and agility, so I could just like wear one of these weapons or whatever. And eventually I just capitulated, and I was like, fuck it, whatever, we're gonna, because I was leveling vigor mainly, right? Or not vigor, but like your health, vitality. I was mainly leveling vitality because I didn't know what to level. I didn't feel like leveling Inferno because I didn't really think that it was gonna like maybe do that much more damage, and like I never really feel like it's a good idea to like level your spell thing first because you don't know like what the requirements are for the next spell you're gonna get. That's also why it's important to know, or like important to get a spell, so you know like where you need to be going, like in terms of like what the curve is gonna be for the demand on your intelligence stat, which in this case is Inferno. So I started leveling that, and then like I was mailing stuff a ton, right? Because the spell is like not very strong. So you realize like, okay, I'm just gonna have to mailing stuff, which is fine. Like I like playing melee in these games anyway, so I'm getting a little bit of both. So I'm like, this is fine. Just mailing. So then I started leveling endurance as well. I was like, I'll get a little bit of stamina, which was good, and that was like letting me use like more weight. And I think they were both like leveling up. Not my HP, but like all my defenses and stuff. So they seemed like good stats to invest in the beginning. And I don't remember when it was, but there was like a point where I went to Molu and I saw like all the Umbral stuff, and I was like, oh, that looks cool. And I saw the Radiance and Inferno, and I was like, that seems pretty neat. Like a kind of cool twist on like kind of like those spells in Elden Ring, but like these seem like a little bit more distinct, maybe they have like more of a personality. And so I kept going through the game, and I don't remember where I was exactly, but it's still kind of in the beginning part, like Pilgrim's Perch, whatever is after it, and I did a lot of like meandering and stuff. I think I completely like skipped Fitzroy's Gorge. I don't remember. There's a lot of weird stuff, but anyways, there was at one point where I was just like, fuck it, I'm just going to start leveling like Radiance because I'm not finding any Inferno spells. I found one extra one that like increased my physical damage, but I was just like, this is stupid. Like, I just feel like this is a fucking wash, and like I'm not getting anywhere on this. And there's this guy like selling the catalyst and the fucking spells and everything. He's like the starter kit for like Umbral. So I'm like, I'm just going to go Umbral. That seems cool. Like, it sounds cool. Let's do that. And I ended up playing Umbral like the whole rest of the game, and it was really fucking cool. I actually liked it a lot. And by the end, like I said, by the end of the game, I got this Wither medallion that let me, or this necklace that basically let you cast without mana in exchange for like withering some of your HP. And it was like, oh my god, this is so strong! Because after you kill Hush Saint, you get this really strong like spear spell for Umbral. This is where you throw the spear, and it has like a gigantic AoE where it lands. It's really strong. And by the time you get that that catalyst up to level 10, and then you get like a ring that increases like sorcery damage, and there was like maybe one other thing that I had that like made it strong as well. But man, by the time I was chucking it in the end game, it was doing like over 1,000 damage, and it was just so fucking strong, and I could cast it without mana. It was so good. Cast everything without mana. So good. So that was really fun. Eventually I found these like maw axes, and I got 2 of those, and I was getting pretty far through the game, and I was like in like lower Calrath, and I just felt like, dude, I kept picking up like smithing stones, and I was like, what the fuck, man, I still haven't found the blacksmith. And I'm like, dude, I fucking missed the blacksmith. I don't know where they are, and I'm not gonna like go fucking searching because like I have no idea of like where to even start looking, and I don't really want to like go back through like all this stuff. So I looked up where it was and went and got it, and I thought that was kind of dumb. Like, I don't think that should be in your game, like such a crucial thing being like tied behind like you not missing like an air, like it's just because these games, like, it could be anywhere, you know what I mean? It's like when you're really like tasking that to the player, like, oh, you gotta go find this thing, and it could be in any of the areas that you went through already, and you have no idea where. Because like, what if it's in the very, 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 very beginning of the game? Like, what if it was just like off to the side or some shit and you missed? You know, it's like that's not some shit I want to have to like deal with. So I looked it up, but that's it's like just make her arrive in the hub like later. It's like people can like just show up at the hub. It's like a good guy place or whatever. It's like round table hold. Like I never was like, whoa. Why is this new guy here? I was always like intrigued when there was like a new person there. So just like send the blacksmith there. She like came, or whatever. Do it like, God of War, like Brock and Sindri, like, managed to like organically like weave themselves into the story and become part of your journey. So do something like that. I wasn't really a fan of like having to like unlock that because, that's like just something you could like easily miss. I think that was like something in Dark Souls 1 as well, where like Andre the blacksmith is just like off in like a random ass tower somewhere, and it's really inconvenient. But he's like placed in a path that's like pretty hard to miss him, so you don't normally like not find him. I would say it's probably rare for like players to not find him. But yeah, that's something you can like get rid of in your game. Like you don't need to have that shit. Like not having quest logs and stuff like that too is like so outdated. I mean, like, dude, the NPC stuff is like, it's good. Like it unlocks like parts of the game that have like bosses. It's like a content in it. And like, put something in the game that will help me out. Like it's immersion breaking for me to have to go on the internet and look up stuff. I don't want to do that. Put it in your fucking game and like make it easy for me to find. Like, make me want to engage with it. Don't make it fucking vague and like, oh my god, man. You could make these NPCs like so, like I was really interested in Pieta, but she does nothing. You bring your stupid fucking thing to it and she makes her cross bleed on it, which was cool, but then it's like nothing, it doesn't go anywhere, and then that's it. And then meanwhile, like the paladin guy with the big hat off to the side, he's like in his little like studies and he's like being super cryptic with you, and I'm like interested. What do you want me to do? You're telling me the land's like full of sin and to not tell people about my mission? Do they not know that I'm like trying to clean the beacons? What are we fucking, like just make this shit clearer. Like I don't get why it's gotta be so, I'm not addicted to the vague story. Like that doesn't like fucking do anything for me. Like in the other games, it's like I heard Ratatosker say it's like their stories are good, so you can do them vague because like they're worth uncovering. But like this is so like whatever, man. It's like you're not doing enough. And yeah, so that's how I kind of felt about that. I didn't really like engage with the story that much, to be honest. Whatever it was, Adir was like talking at the end about how like, oh man, you've been lied to and all this stuff, and I was like a great guy and all this shit, and I was just like, whatever. I just want to be done with the game. I just want to be able to say that I can beat it, or that I've beaten it. So I beat him. And I didn't give a shit what he said afterwards. So the combat, as far as like, so the spell casting is great. Like every time I got a catalyst and I had like different spells, it was great. There were some that were slow that I got rid of pretty promptly, but there were a lot that were like fast and medium cast speed that were all really great and cool to use and had neat effects. There was like I was playing like Withered Mage caster damage thing. It was just cool. I had like Wither bolts, and I had one that was like a Wither chain lightning. And there were some ones that like mimicked your weapon, but I didn't really use those that much because like you basically have to be in melee range, and it's like I have good melee weapons, so like why spend all this time like winding up this fucking cast when I can just hit them with my weapon? So I didn't use any of those, but then they had like buffs like poison your weapon. And then there were these spells I got towards the end that would like make the enemy weaker, which was like really noticeable actually. They did like way less damage when you would hit them with that. It was pretty cool. Some of the particles made it a little hard to see some of the other things, so that was a little bit wibbly wobbly, but other than that, not really any complaints. I got these other big spells from like bosses, but I kind of forgot about them till like the very end of the game. I got one that like makes a big nail come out of the ground. That was kind of cool, although I didn't really like, I didn't really get to use it ever. But it seemed neat. It seemed like it would be a nice like spell to have as like a big bazooka kind of. But I was running the Misery Bolt, the damage over time wither. So the bolt that makes them like do less damage, the spell that puts like wither on them that like does damage over time. The lance throw, javelin thing. The icicle thing, which was crazy good, and then umbral weapon enchant. The frost thing was like insanely good. You would summon this like little frost ball, and it would shoot like 5 icicle blasts on the ground, and it could straight up just like one shot some of the big enemies, like the Reaper and stuff, if they stood in all of them. And it got like good tracking. Like, damn, that thing was strong. There were some bosses that I just like trivialized because I was just like, I'm just gonna cast like 2 of these. Let's see what happens. And they would just die. I think I did that to like cleric at one point. So overall, I don't think I could rate this game like lower than a 6. I think I could even be pushed to like a 6.5. But I don't think it deserves any more than that. I thought the lamp was like pretty flimsy in terms of like combat. They didn't integrate it into the world in any interesting way with the bosses to make those like cool fights where it's like an umbral fight or an axiom fight. Like nothing's like that really. Not even close. It's mostly with the world doing like the level traversal and stuff. The levels are good. The combat is fine. Once you get a hang of I didn't really mention in my playthrough. I think I maybe mentioned a few times just sporadically, but like the pacing in which you got spells was bad, at least for Inferno, because I had to pivot into Umbral. And then once I did that, I like didn't really have any issues with that. But if I was someone that wasn't like really, adept at playing these kind of games, I would have had a horrible time. Because I would have just been like searching for Inferno shit, and then there's like one lady where you have to like give your catalyst to her to get her to like be an Inferno vendor, and then she goes in like a weird spot. Like, why wouldn't you just put her in Skyrus Bridge with like everybody else? Instead, she stands outside, and that would have been like hard to find. And so this is what I'm talking about. It's just like this bullshit in these games that like I don't know why you make them like this. You don't have to make it shitty like that. Just don't make it like that. But then they do, and they think that that's like part of the charm. And it's like it's fucking not. It could be, I suppose, but like, dude, it's fucking not. It's just like at this point, like it should be streamlined in like a certain way. Like it's fine if there's a hub and it feels kind of gamey and that all the NPCs are there that'll help you. It's fine. I don't give a shit. It doesn't need to be immersive when I'm upgrading my fucking weapon or, buying mana shards. That's not when I need to be immersed in the game. I need to be immersed in the game when I'm out in the fucking world and doing the combat and stuff. So, like, this stuff, it's fine if you have all the guys in, like, one spot and it's real easy to, like, find your way around and, like, find the shit that you need. And, like, figure out what they want and what you can do to help them and progress their, and, like, where you need to not go to, like, cut off their quests and stuff. Like add that into the game. That's the stuff that's missing. It's not this other stupid shit that you're like focused on. I think that's kind of everything I have to say about it. I had my fun with it, but I was like really glad to be done with it by the time that I was done. I was getting like really irritated by all the things in the game that were kind of starting to like add up. I like I said, it's like kind of getting like arthritis. Is like you've got this like cartilage that's between you and these bones that like otherwise would rub together. And as long as that cartilage is there, like whenever the joint moves, it feels fine. But like once the cartilage is all gone and the bones are just scraping against each other, it starts to become like really infuriating. And I feel like this game has a lot of joints that get worn out very quick. So because I haven't wanted to do a new game plus. Or just even a second playthrough, because I just keep thinking like I don't really want to like have to go between the different worlds and like have to be in like a lot of the levels are kind of like ugly. They're like underground and like a lot of the enemies are kind of shitty. There's like decent enemy variety, but honestly it's like not enough, and most of the time you just fight those little fucking zombies anyways, and they're super annoying. And and there's less novelty now with like opening the lamp and like seeing a reaper, and like not expecting one, or like getting pulled through by like one of those little like goblin guys. And I just don't want to do that again. Like some of those, it was fun while it was there, but like it all sounds like annoying to me now. I don't want to do that again. That was like, you know, so it's a one and done for me. I don't really plan on like playing it again. Maybe if there was like DLC in the future that was like free, like a big update or something like that, I might like come back and like try it or something like that, or I don't know. If they added more like casting on it, or maybe if it got like a really good mod and like people just fucked around with like the casting and stuff, because like the casting is good and like the bosses like are pretty good as like templates. Maybe someone could come in and like spice them up. Maybe I'd be willing to give it another look or whatever, but for right now I don't think so. I think I got like 40 hours out of it, but I enjoyed myself enough that I'd say that like I got my money's worth without needing the like exact amount of hours played for like the exact amount of dollars that you spent. So, I don't feel like I was like shorted $15 or anything like that. I like bought the game the day it came out, and I enjoyed playing it quite a bit. For the early days, like I said, and then like by like the last 2 days, I was like really, really, really happy to be almost done with it and then finish it. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. So, I think the developer is in like a pretty good spot. They seem to be like pretty talented. Like the game, like I said, the game, if you didn't know it wasn't a Dark Souls game, you would think it was. So I think that it has a lot of novelty in that, and I think that's why it also outsold like Liza P, because that was something else I noticed about this. Or like it sold 1,000,000 units faster than Liza P did. And it's because of the Dark Souls aesthetic for sure. Like it just nails it. It looks so good. Like the world looks so good, and like going into Umbral is so cool, and feels really neat. And you're so curious. Like the game, like that extra access of the game, access AXIS of the game being the Umbral realm, and like that it provides is like it provides a lot. Like I mean, I downplayed it a little bit earlier by saying it doesn't interact with the bosses. That's just like a disappointment that it doesn't. But like for what it provides, like it does provide quite a lot of novelty and like cool experiences and like different moments of gameplay and like some different enemies and things like that in different scenarios and stuff. And it was pretty fun. I don't want to do it again because I don't want to just be in a pile of fucking eggs with little zombies and shit all the time with some moth lady that's gonna fucking suplex me. Just hanging around being an asshole as I run out the timer and fucking and kill. Oh my god, whatever. I just don't want to deal with that anymore. So, like I said, I had my fun with it. I think you could have your fun with it, especially if you like these Souls games. If you're not experienced with the Souls genre, then like dude, just get like Dark Souls 1 and like Dark Souls 3 or whatever, or Elden Ring, and play those first, because they're the same price and they're better by a lot. Even though they have their own issues. Yeah. So my final verdict would be a 6. I think it's a valiant attempt by the studio, and if you make another game, just don't be afraid to push against some of these fucking traditions that are traditions for no reason. Like, From Software and Miyazaki. Have you ever seen an anime where they have to fight like a god at the end that has like a lot of eyes on it or something? Like, dude, these people, they don't have... That's why they're good at writing mysterious stories, because they don't even fucking know what they're writing about, They're just very flowery with their language, and they get really epic and over the top with things, and it feels very grandiose, and so that kind of like pulls it all together. But like for whatever reason, non-Japanese studios, you can't fucking pull that off. Like you're just bad at it. So just make the story like streamlined, and don't make everything so vague, and just give me like a good experience. Like give me a world that, I would say like don't make it like checkboxy either. Like, I wouldn't say that like, I would rather have like a map like an Elden Ring, but like, again, don't put like quest markers on it. You don't need the fucking people to tell us like, exactly where to go on the map or whatever, but like have a fucking tab open where I can like see the quests that like people want me to do, and like have them have like a vague description or whatever, like old World of Warcraft, like World of Warcraft Classic, like that kind of quest style. Like I don't mind stuff like that. That's fun, where you get to like read what they wrote and you have to try and figure out who they were talking to or where the thing is or whatever. That's fine. The weapons are. I've heard that Lies of P had like a really cool system where like you would equip any weapon basically, and that it just scaled off of like whatever it scaled off of. So it was kind of like intended for certain builds, but you could like use it if you wanted to, and then like later you could affect the scaling. I think that's cool. More games should do that. I don't really like the rigid like requirements on weapons either. That's like not. I think that's another thing that's like kind of outdated. Like yeah, you could argue that it's like, well, you're making an RPG, right? So like you don't want people that like want to play a mage to like be able to use like great swords or whatever. But it's like, but maybe they fucking do. So like, why not? And then like they can put a fucking gem in it that like makes it scale with magic or something like that. Like I don't know. A lot of these games, they seem to like, oh man, there's so much choice, there's so much replayability, but then there's like a lot of like rigidity in like the way that they give it to you. Like, like have a guy give me fucking like enchanting stones, with all the fucking attributes, and like I can pick and like mix and match. I don't know. It's so, I don't know. Whatever. I'm not a game developer, so like let's not get too far into the weeds with like my dumb fucking ideas. Anyways, I thought this game was a 6, and that's the most I'm willing to give it right now. And, I would say my general advice would just be like wait for it to go on sale, because it's probably not worth $60. I'd say it's probably worth like 50. If you get it for 50 or cheaper, that's probably pretty good. Otherwise, if you're like really hankering for like a Souls game, then like go for it. It's like fun enough, and it's like it's still got like a new car smell and stuff like that to it. But yeah, otherwise I would say like just pass. And from I've been doing like a lot of research on it, and from what I've heard, like everyone says Lies of P is better. So I would get that. I'm gonna wait for that to go on sale. I don't want to get it right away. I've also heard that it's got some like wonky things with it, so I'm hoping that they've patched the game once, so I'm hoping that the game gets like one more patch before I purchase it, hopefully, before it goes. So I'm hoping that they like patch it and then they like put it on sale because it's got like an update. Anyways, that's it for me. Thanks for listening if you did, or whatever, or who gives a shit, because it's just me getting my thoughts out here and talking about stuff. So yeah, we've done that, so I'm gonna go eat dinner.